Okay, it says we're live. Okay, hi guys.
Hi, everybody.
It's Amry,
And Cisco.
and we got Milo back here. I think we jumped on like a minute early, but that's okay. We were just gonna get started. Oops. See if anyone has any questions. I guess we could get started with just like a short intro of ourselves. So I'm Amry Palmer. And you guys see my name on the YouTube channel a lot, but Cisco is my partner, business partner, my boyfriend, and we do all the horse training together. You guys have officially met him. We'll come out with an intro video soon, but I'll let Cisco tell you a little bit about himself.
Hi, everybody. My name's Cisco Nixon. Me and Amry are partners, and she's my girlfriend and whatnot. And we ride horses together and got our business and stuff. And we're here to answer some questions if you guys have any for us.
So far it looks like we got Laura and Lisa and Shirley, yes, I hope I'm saying that right. And I don't know. Oh no, our lens is dirty. Let me clean it real quick. Hopefully that's better.
There we go. How's that?
Thank you. Good suggestion. We are definitely new to this, so we are open to suggestions and let us know whatever you guys think we can do better. And okay, awesome. So much better. I did not even think about that before. So my happy gecko, thank you so much. Good info. Hi, Lance. Hi, Richard. Right now it's 4:01 in Arizona and it's 73 degrees in Wickenburg. So where are you guys all from and what's the weather like where you are? Is it starting to get cold? Let's see. Oh. So we got someone from Western Colorado. Sweet.
It's getting cold over there.
We came from Flagstaff just a few weeks ago from my dad's house, and it is starting to get cold. My dad called you the other day. How cold was it?
He said it was like getting in the 34, I think. But we're gonna head up there. I think on Tuesday. We're gonna wean some calves and stuff, and take some of these young horses and ride them outside and stuff. So that'll be good.
Yeah, so stay tuned for those videos. We're gonna be headed up to my dad's house again to help him with all the cows. So you'll get to see kind of the other thing we get to do, not just the horses. We get to help with my dad's cows.
Yeah. What else we got here?
Oh, sweet. So Lance says the weather is wet, and that is true for us too. Last night, how much rain did we get? You think?
I think Wickenburg said it got 1.5 inches, so there's quite a bit of water running around, standing still. Our arena's underwater today, so we didn't get to do much. So
yeah, it was pretty wet. Oh, we got South Carolina, New Hampshire. Oh, it's currently 54 degrees in New Hampshire, so it's pretty cold. And then in East Texas, it's been 90s, but the low 40s. So you guys like have kind of similar highs, but then you get much colder at night. What do you think our lows are at night?
I bet here it's probably high 60s, low 60s maybe. Yeah, it's not terrible here, but similar weather, I guess, in a way.
Sweet. Okay, so we got Chair A. I hope I'm saying that right. From Fresno, California. That is awesome. Oh, but Lisa from Florida says it's hot. So that's crazy. 61 in Michigan and 33 tonight in Missouri. That's pretty cold.
That's getting down there.
Oh, hi, MRO and Co. from Tasmania, Australian. That's awesome.
That's cool. What's the weather like over there right now?
And a question for anyone in Australia is, are you guys on different seasons? Like, do you have the 4 seasons that we do in the States, like spring, fall, and summer? Okay, and then it's in the mid 40s in Wisconsin, so it's starting to get pretty cold in Wisconsin.
Getting chilly.
Sweet. 72 in Silver Canyon, California. So it seems like some of the states closer to us are kind of the same.
Yeah, same weather.
But definitely colder.
Yeah, awesome.
So weather is a big reason why we do come to Wickenburg. Do you want to talk about why we kind of come to Wickenburg kind of live?
Oh, we come to Wickenburg just because it's of course, the teamed up in capital of the world. A lot of people come over here, and it's kind of our business takes us down here. Everyone rides horses down here and stuff, and gets us a chance to meet a lot more people and ride horses for them, and maybe sell some nice horses that we have and good potentials and stuff. But also, the weather plays a big factor. Flagstaff just gets so cold, and the wind blows up there quite a bit, and then it's kind of wet, pretty wet too. So it makes it a little tougher to ride horses and stuff. So we come down here, and it's beautiful weather, and all of our friends are down here and stuff. So we really enjoy it down here, and it's nice.
Leave Wickenburg.
Well, it was last summer we stayed here, and it just gets really hot. I think it's about 115 here, right here where we are. So we try to get up pretty early. We get up about 3 or so, and then get to feeding horses and stuff. But it's just you don't have near the opportunity to spend with the horses just because it's so hot, and we kind of got sick a little bit and whatnot. So it's just a little rough on the health and stuff, and just a little harder on everything. So that's the only reason we leave, I guess it'd be. But we don't have a covered arena or anything like that. So we have the opportunity to go to Flag too. So cooler weather, and it's really nice. So we like to go up there.
Yeah, Wickenburg is definitely the place to be for our business, but kind of for like me and Cisco's health and the health of the horses and like for sanity, I guess, or I don't know, just to like take a relax. It's nice to go to staff and just take a break from all this heat. And then it's kind of nice that my dad has all the pasture. I kind of talked about that in my last video, but we can feed horses for a lot cheaper in Flagstaff. And so money kind of plays into that too. But Richard would like to know, Cisco, who do you start? I don't know necessarily that word, toolgate under, or like, so how did you get started with training horses, and kind of who was like your original mentor?
Actually, I've been around horses my whole life and stuff, but I think actually my granddad was the one that really got me into riding horses and stuff. We started our first horses together and stuff, and we just went on from there. And I just got to be around a lot of colt starters and stuff, and spent a lot of time around it and seen different ways of doing stuff. And I just kind of picked some stuff, and I took what I liked and what I didn't like, and just kept on going and tried to create my own style and what I like and don't like, and go from there. But I was started riding colts when I was little bitty, probably, I shouldn't say little bitty, maybe 12, 13. We started my first colt. So yeah.
So who was the first like official horse trainer you worked for?
Yeah, I think the official horse trainer, it was a guy right here in Congress. He has a place over there, and I started riding horses from him, and then got to be around some other horse trainers there in Chino and stuff, and their friends would come at a Phoenix and stuff. So and lots of guys along the way, everyone has something, little tricks or something, and we just used them and took them and seen how they work and stuff and whatnot. But yeah, applied them to some of our colts we ride, and just combined everything together. There's more than one way to skin a cat, and yeah, just took everything, and yeah, it all worked out good.
Yeah, that's awesome. I see some people are saying maybe we lost connection. I hope it's good. We're kind of trying to stay close to the Wi-Fi router that we have down here, so hopefully that keeps working. But definitely let us know if it's not good enough to hear us and whatnot, because we could jump back inside if we have to. And then we're also sitting outside just because the weather's nice. But if the wind noise isn't great, just let us know too, and we could go inside if in case that is the case. But let's see what other questions we got. And if you guys, I guess just in general, this is a Q&A. So if you have any questions or there's anything about me and Cisco that you want to know, go ahead and ask those. We got Milo behind us sitting on a chair. He's just hanging out. He's kind of our partner that does everything with us. Oh, so that guy asked, sorry, I do not know how to pronounce your name, like Jacoby. Sorry, I don't know how to say that, but do you know Twister Heller in Congress?
Yeah, I do. I actually got to spend some time around Twister too. Yeah,
That's funny.
Talk to him every now and
Small
again still,
world.
but yeah, I helped Twister out, so or I should say he helped me out and stuff. So yeah, I definitely know Twister.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, thanks, Kathy. We are definitely experiencing some high hay prices right now. So I don't know if a lot of our followers own horses. If you guys do, we'd love to know that. Kind of comment that. and comment your hay prices right now because we're experiencing some very high hay prices. Okay, sweet. Lance had an awesome question. Amry and Cisco, are there any horses we regret selling? Or tell them about the horse that you missed the most.
So I had a horse that I started for a guy. She was a little mare, little buckskin mare, really cute little mare, bred really nice. I called her Maggie, and I started her from a 3-year-old. And I think I rode her. I think she was 6 when I sold her, so I had her for 3 years, and she was a phenomenal mare, and I really, really liked her. And she was just really, really moved around nice and really super broke, and just anybody could ride her. You could do anything on her. And someone came up to me and asked me if I wanted to sell her, and I guess maybe I didn't price her high enough or something. Anyhow, she's not with us no more, unfortunately. But yeah, I guess I regret selling her, and she was a really nice mare. I think she maybe might say she was like a real turning point, you in your maybe riding horses, and how you maybe like one guy said, you ruin 100 horses before you actually get your first good one. So maybe she was the one that was really good to me, and I really come along, and everything, my knowledge came together and went into that horse. But yeah,
and
so we miss her.
From my perspective of Maggie, Cisco, he didn't want to sell her. He thought about selling her maybe sometime in the future, but someone came around looking for a really nice horse, and he said, name a price, a price that you would be happy with. And he named a price that was definitely high enough that he thought they would say no, and they ended up saying yes. And then they went and got a vet check, and she passed the vet check 100% sound. And she was a really nice mare. But I guess too, from selling horses, I guess this is from my perspective, but sometimes you sell the nicest horses you have so that you can get your name out there, and so people can kind of recognize that you do have nice horses. And because you sold Maggie, now you have a lot of other nice horses. And like, as horse trainers, you wish you could always keep all the horses, but it's just not realistic. But kind of, it's still a horse that you'll always remember. And then I saw another question I wanted to. So, Cisco, did your family come from horse trainers? Did your grandpa train horses, or how did he get into it?
I think my granddad, he was always just he always rode some of his own colts and stuff. So there's no real big line of horse trainers or anything. It's just something I've always wanted to do, and I pursued it and got to be around some really good guys and stuff, and just went on with it.
And then I saw, I think it was Richard again. He asked me if I had kind of like a specific mentor. And for me, my dad, he got to train some horses when he was younger and work for some people. And so I'm super grateful that he got into horses again after I was born. And then I guess a way to put it is, if you want a nice horse, you either have to spend a lot of money or you have to make it yourself. And we didn't always have a lot of money to spend that on a nice horse, so we just learned how to make them ourselves. And I got to do that. And then actually, there's some people, I got to always go to Pitzer Ranch. You guys will see a lot in our videos. I really love Pitzer Ranch, especially Jim Brinkman out there helped me a lot with the horses. But there was a family or a couple down here in Wickenburg, and I remember on my 16th birthday, it's kind of my birthday present, I got to come down here and meet them. And I remember the guy asked me what I wanted to do, and I told him I just want to train horses. And so he offered me a job, and I got to go work for him. And that's kind of got my foot in the door with coming to Wickenburg too. And so ever since then, I got to come down and do that. And even though I went to college and did that, I always knew I wanted to train horses. Cisco you went and worked for some ranches, but that still let him train horses and stuff. And then kind of when we met each other and we both liked doing that, we've officially made training horses our life and our business. So that was awesome. Okay. So has there ever been a horse you trained for someone that you really wish you could have bought or owned?
No, I guess I bought Maggie. Maggie was a big horse. I had the opportunity, but I guess after
What about Bubbles?
Yeah, there was a horse we called Bubbles. He was a pretty nice gelding too, and stuff. But yeah, I guess maybe regret him too. But I guess yeah. So anyhow.
Okay. So Laura doesn't own any horses, but that's awesome that you get to watch our channel. And I hope that even for the people out there that don't own horses, you can kind of get to see what it's like firsthand for us. And hopefully we take you along enough, or even let us know in the comments today, what would you like to see more in our videos that would give you more of an inside scoop on the horses that we train, or what goes into owning horses? Because I do always tell people riding is only 10% of it. Horsemanship, it's like a horse and a man. There's two parts of it, and there's so much more that goes into it. Okay, sweet. Thanks for the feedback, Karen. We like knowing that. And then Laura said, have you both considered breeding any particular horse? What's your favorite breeding of a horse?
I kind of like a lot of dock bar stuff and kind of cowy stuff, and I like smaller horses personally. I never was real fond of 15 3 16 hand horses. I don't know. And there's nothing wrong with them. They're great athletes and stuff, but I don't know. I kind of always like littler horses. 14 3 14 2. I just like the way they move, and they just feel real good, and I just like them. So yeah, I think they're my favorite.
Okay, yes, thanks, Kathy, for pointing that out. If you guys would do us a favor, we would love a thumbs up. I guess to kind of cover a topic that was brought up later is our channel did officially get monetized, which is super exciting for us, because for us to keep continuing training horses, honestly, a lot of horse trainers go broke doing what they love, and we're trying to explore different avenues. I love doing the video stuff. I know Cisco loves helping people, and this kind of lets us put two and two together. If I can make videos and we can help people, then we would love to do that and share all of our knowledge with you guys, just share our life with you guys. But definitely your support goes a long ways. If you like our videos, subscribe to our channel, share it with your friends. If you don't like us, that's okay too. We know there's people for everyone, and not everyone clicks with everyone, but it just goes a long way in helping us. If we can make a little bit of money on YouTube that can help us do what we love, we would really appreciate that also. Okay, so what do you look for in a horse that you would consider like a good prospect? What are your key things?
I guess for me, my personal taste and style, of course, the color of them. Everyone loves a pretty buckskin or a blue roan or red roan horse. Everyone really likes that, and I do too. And their breeding, of course. And good straight legs on them, their conformation and stuff, and how they react and stuff. And yeah, depending on their age and stuff. I don't if they're up there and already riding and how they're riding and stuff, and just everything. We kind of look at that, and they're good feed on them and good mind and stuff. So just a lot of that, and a lot of their breeding, till we know what they could become and what they're gonna be. You're not gonna take a Tennessee Walker and try to make a rope horse out of it. So yeah, it just depends. That's what we're looking for. Just good, maybe rope horse stuff and stuff. And there's nothing wrong with trail riding horses either, or anything like that. So yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, Richard. He sent us some treats and Wormer through our Amazon. Thank you so much. We appreciate that.
Thanks, Richard.
I need to make an official post about this, but we do have an Amazon wish list if you guys want to check that out. And we use in our everyday training or with our personal horses, and kind of an end goal. I guess if you think about it, horses just take a lot of time to make. If you want to make a really awesome horse, it takes a lot of time. And after you put if you put 5 to 7 years into a horse, you have a lot of money into that horse.
Mm-hmm.
And having those little things like wormer and fly spray or halters or things like that can go into that, it just really helps us continue to do that, because you're not going to see the profit of that horse for 5 to 7 years. And it might not even be a profit. You might even just break even. And that's why we do train horses, so that we can honestly keep making money, so that we can ride our own horses, because we like making good horses for people. And that is a good suggestion. Surely we'll have to look into adding the super button. I'm not sure how to do that. I might have to look out for that thing. Oh, so Cisco, have you ever trained a Mustang?
Actually, I have. I started. It's like a 5-year-old Mustang. Yeah, and she was kind of a handful, and it takes it a minute. But once you get them, you got them. But they're pretty reactive. Especially never being handled and stuff. But it seems like once you get a hold of them and take the time with them, they'll eventually come around and kind of dull down and relax. But it takes a little bit. But yeah, so we've been around them a little bit.
Yeah. So hi Desert Homestead, and thank you for that comment. I appreciate when people understand good horses are not cheap.
Yes.
I mean, honestly, when we've done the math, if you keep a horse for 7 years and that's like if we only pay ourselves $500 a month to ride a horse, which is like it's like a fourth of what we would charge other people. And you still pay for their feed, especially with how high feed has gone, and you pay to worm them and get shoes and any vet bills that might come up. You have like at least $50,000 into that horse. And that is and then when, even if you can sell it for $30,000, you're breaking even, really. It's kind of a sport of the passion. You have to love to do it, and we have to kind of supplement our income with other ways. Hopefully YouTube could be one so that we have more time to make awesome horses for people. But yeah, thanks for that comment because we appreciate it. It does take a lot of time. And so,
See who Chet.
let me look. Okay, so our merch clothing. I am going to be working on that soon. So me and Cisco's business together is CNA Horses, and we're going to work on some ideas for that. We have some fun logos we want to put on it too, like Cisco's main thing. I guess he taught me this, but safety first. Like tell him, what would you tell me when you first met me?
Safety first.
About you're not a cat.
I think I used to say, you're not a cat, you don't have 9 lives.
Yes.
So safety first. They're a lot bigger and stronger than us and stuff, but we can work together with them and we can get them to what we need to do and stuff. So always safety first, because there's millions of them and piles of them that will train, but there's only 2 of us or 1 of us, so once they knock 1 of us out, we're done, so always safety first, with them horses, because we'll train quite a few of them. So we got to make sure we're safe first before we can go on to the other horses, or we won't be able to if we get hurt. So yeah, safety first.
And kind of for our line of business, if we break an arm or a leg, you're out. There's like you can't even do groundwork if you break an arm or a leg. You're kind of out, and so it takes you out of training horses. And I like Cisco's quote of safety first. Like our safety has to come first, then the horse's safety is next. But they are a lot bigger and stronger. And I kind of had to learn a hard lesson of getting bucked off a horse. And thankfully I didn't get hurt to where it like necessarily broke a bone or anything. It just like hurt my pride, but got bucked off pretty good. And it was because I did not do my like homework with the horse or my prior groundwork. And so it definitely affected me, and it kind of made me realize that no matter how cute they are and how much we love them, they are animals that are 1,200 pounds. They're so strong and they have a mind of their own. So we have to be careful about that. So if you want to yes, I agree. If you want to own a horse, you have to realize that cleaning stalls, we clean stalls down here. That's a lot of work. And it takes like at least an hour of your time. And that's what we tell people too. Some other horse trainers, they try to ride so many horses that it's you want to ride 10 horses a day and you only can give them each half an hour. But in reality, if you catch that horse, saddle it, put fly spray on, brush it, and clean its pen, you've at least spent like 3 hours with that horse for that day. And so you just have to be kind of realistic with yourself, and taking less horses lets you do quality over quantity.
That's right.
But I do want to talk who has in recent years, who's kind of our mentor guy that we've kind of changed things up and kind of changed our program because of him.
Probably a lot of Clinton stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We watch a lot of his stuff. He's got good advice and stuff on the industry and stuff, and how to make a living at doing it and stuff. So we're super grateful for him and everything. So yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, we really like a lot of the Clinton Anderson stuff. He just does a really good job with the groundwork, and he also realizes that good horses take time and your time is valuable. And if you want to do a good job for people, you kind of have to charge for that time. Hey, Farm on Route 66, thanks so much for joining us. And Lance wants some Spanish. Hola, ¿cómo estás? That's the basic stuff. I haven't practiced my Spanish in a long time, but I do like being down here in Wickenburg because we're close to Aguila and there's a lot more Hispanic people there. And so we can kind of go into the flea markets there and I can talk it a little bit. But Okay, I like this quote. A good horse ain't cheap, and a cheap horse ain't good.
That's right.
That's a good quote. That's from
Yeah.
Modoc Rough Stock.
Oh, it's true.
Yeah. So, okay, yes, Karen, that's a good advice. We need to put our Amazon wish list on the page, and maybe we will make like a video kind of announcing that so that everyone is just aware of that. Let me scroll up. Oh, hey, Blake. Blake wants to know what your favorite horse is. So, what's your favorite horse right now?
I go. I think I'm pretty fond of Titan right now. Titan's kind of got my heart right now. I really like him. He's really coming along good. He's getting pretty broke, and I think he's going to be a really nice head and heel horse. But I'm super excited to get him out of the pasture in a couple weeks and get him going and stuff. And also Lollipop. I really like Lollipop, and of course Charlie Brown. I really like the way he moves. I think those three are probably some of my three favorite ones right now that I really like and are going really good. So excited about them coming up.
If you guys haven't seen the first ride on Charlie Brown, go watch that. It was one of the last videos that we posted. And so Cisco shows us like a true first ride. And I know it's a longer video. You can skip through and just watch the parts you want. But we didn't want to like cut anything out because Cisco showed everything he does with that horse before he gets on. And it's a lot of groundwork. I mean, you said in the video, Cisco says he only did like a week of groundwork, but it was like a week spread out from like a couple months. And so he did put a lot of time into the groundwork. And yeah, thanks for that question, Blake. And if you guys haven't seen Blake working with his horses, go check out the farm on Route 66. He's been working with a Tennessee Walker, and she's like pretty much untouchable. So that's going to be awesome to see her transformation at the end of the month. Oh, thank you, Chet. He says Charlie. Oh, Milo. He's laying down behind us.
He's napping.
Come on, Milo. Come on, you gotta say hi. Come on. Here's Milo. Milo's pretty much always with us. I got Milo actually the funny story about Milo is my dad, we were at a high school rodeo, and this was 6 years ago, so Milo's 6 now. I was at a high school rodeo, and my dad saw these cute puppies, and they told him that they were great cow dogs, and he wanted a cow dog. And so he bought Milo, and I remember I got done running barrels, and I was like, you better go return that puppy. My mom's going to kill you. Like, you cannot take a puppy home. And we drove him home, and like they had docked his tail too short. He was having problems going to the bathroom, and we had to haul him to the vet right away. And he just, I don't know, like after that, he became my dog because I spent so much time with him. And then it was only a year later, I went off to college, and I took Milo with me because I wanted to kind of have a companion. So he went and spent college with me. And it's funny because as soon as he met Cisco, him and Cisco get along really well. And they kind of do their cow work together. He kind of has turned into more of a cow dog now. He wasn't at first, but he's our kid too. Yeah, they need a Milo t-shirt.
Yeah,
that
we'll
would
get
be
awesome.
awesome.
Put his face on him for you guys.
Yeah.
Put cow dog.
So Diane said she grew up on Mustangs and grade horses in Nevada, and she thinks you have a true story. So that's awesome. I know a lot of grade horses that come from Nevada, or not grade, Mustangs that come from Nevada. So that's awesome. And I think in the future, I've told Cisco this, I think it would be super fun to do kind of like a Mustang makeover. And that would probably be like an ultimate test of our skills. Like take a horse that is totally untouched and wild, and maybe even like a 5-year-old or whatever, and just like, and be able to document that too, because Cisco has already done it, but he wasn't documenting things at that time. And it's always fun for us to look back too and see how much progress we make for that. Yeah, definitely Milo shirts are a must. They're going to love the Milo shirts. Yeah. Okay. Let me see. I'm going to scroll through and try to find some more questions. I know I did ask about hay earlier, and I'm seeing some comments about that. Are you surprised that when you first bought hay, how much did it cost? When you first had to like buy it on your own, I guess.
That's been I forget. I'm not even sure, to be truthful with you.
Yeah.
Not what it costs right now. I promise you that.
Yeah. And we do get, I guess maybe the reason kind of it was like such a shocker for us coming to Wickenburg is because at my dad's house, we do, I don't know if you guys noticed, I never like really covered this, but my dad feeds the big bales. And so he just has like the feeders where you set the bale out and the horses can free feed. And if you do the math, you could probably save 2 more days of not feeding that hay. But for us, it's the convenience of not having to wake up and just letting them free feed. And so the big bales too, I guess they're like the 1,300-pound bales.
Mm-hmm.
They're so much cheaper than just like the 95-pound bales. And so that's where we were finding all of that. Okay, so do you agree or accept like racing and dressage and jumping? Do you have much experience with that?
No, I don't have any experience in those, to be truthful with you. But
I guess I might have a little bit. You remember what was that horse's name? Like Octopus or something? Do you remember that paint horse?
Oh, I don't. Confetti.
Yeah. That was his name, Confetti. I don't know why I called him Octopus. But so last year, there's this really awesome gal she lives in Black Canyon City. Her name is Rita Connor, and she trains and breeds some really awesome, I think they're Lusitano horses. And the crazy way we met was we were in Nebraska at the horse sale, and she bought a puppy from someone in Nebraska and got my phone number somehow and called me. And then we get to talking, and I tell her that we get to talking, and she wants me to take a horse for training for her. And it was like kind of trained in dressage and like warm blood stuff. And so that was kind of crazy, but it was a first for me. And I learned so much from Rita. And what opened my eyes too is that a lot of the dressage stuff is actually the same as cutting and stuff that they do. So it kind of like goes hand in hand, and they do a lot of the same things. So that is kind of our experience with that. Let's see Let's see some of these other ones. Okay. So do you find that quarter horses are harder to trail ride because they're shorter in the front quarters? What do you find for like trail horses?
No, I guess I never have really had a problem with that type of deal. I think they're all good. As long as they're good on the trail and not reactive or anything. Be good trail horses. I guess I've never known that. The quarter horses are real smooth movers, some of them and stuff. So I guess I never have ran into that. I guess, to be truthful with you, but no, I haven't.
Okay, thanks, Laura, for blocking Josh. I'm not sure who Josh is, but you're blowing up our comments, and I think it's kind of a spam, so we'll just ignore him. Okay, thank you, Diane, too. So, can anyone consign a horse to the Pitzer sale? How does that look?
I think I don't know if anybody can. I think they kind of favor quite a few of their own personal horses, but I guess we were able to fortunate enough that Jim Brinkman let us put some other outside horses in there. So, but I think he's pretty particular on what goes in there. It's such a phenomenal sale and nice sale. He's pretty picky. There's no junk really allowed, so, but yeah.
Okay, Farm on Route 66, I added you as a moderator so you can block anyone. We kind of had a guy named Josh blowing up our stuff with just a bunch of emojis and stuff. But the Pitzer sale too, I think in like the overall scheme, anyone can, as long as you have a horse that meets their standards. But they do favor kind of their own horses, like especially that come from their lines. And then we love Pitzers. They really do a great job with their horses. My dad's been going to that sale for like 20 plus years. I've been going ever since I was 8 years old. And they just have really good colts. They really stand by what they say. They're honest people. They're not in it to make money. They're doing it because they love it. And if you keep doing a good job and building up a good reputation, they're going to take your horses. They kind of support that as well. Okay. Let's see what there's some other questions. Oh, okay. So this is a good question. Do our horses go barefoot in my dad's pasture?
Yes, I guess a lot of them do, or some of ours do. There's some of them with shoes, but not a lot of them. Oh, we like to take their shoes off, and let them just kind of go natural and whatnot. I think it's good for their feet and stuff, not stay shod completely all the time, and it don't hurt them, and maybe save on a little bit of money. You don't have to have your horse shod out there, if you're not riding them. There's no sense in having shoes on them, and they don't get too sore footed or anything, and so yeah, we make sure to leave some of our horses barefoot. So yeah.
Yeah, we shoe mostly the horses that we have to haul and that they kind of need to um be used and or used a lot because it can be hard on their feet. But I think something too that to point out that Cisco's kind of taught me about is when a horse gets turned out and their rocks and stuff and their foot chips away, it's usually 99% of the time it's chipping away where it needs to be. And sometimes I think as people or human beings in general, we want to go and fix a bunch of problems, but really nature already knows how to do it itself. We just need to leave it alone. The natural hoof of a horse is going to be good enough for the horse. We don't need to go in there and mess with it. And so it is kind of interesting. You've turned horses out and they chip away in a certain spot, and you're like, hey, that's exactly where I would have trimmed anyways. But you don't have to do that because it's already chipped away from the natural rocks and stuff. And like Cisco said, it saves us money too, which, we don't like to, money isn't everything, but when it comes to horses, and because we have so many horses, it really does help to have, that kind of,
Well, if they don't need them, there's no sense in putting them on. If we're not going to
yeah.
ride them for several months, it'd be kind of a waste of money. So, no sense in having them shoes if they're going to be turned out.
So, from a health standpoint, have you ever heard any different um, feeding or health stuff of different horses besides the Western industry?
Mm, health standpoint, no. Yep,
I,
mm.
I guess one thing I would say, I'm not trying to bash anyone. I guess one thing I would hear from race horses is they drug them a lot, but that's just, you want someone to run fast, you want Olympic athletes to do well. Sometimes there's drugs involved. We don't, our horses get hay and maybe every now and then some grain, but we try to keep things super basic. I think the dressage people do a really good job, though. I'm kind of high on them. I just feel like they have a good training standpoint and things like that. Um, okay, what is your favorite saddle maker?
Mm, I don't know. I guess I've had some few custom made saddles. I think I'm riding a John Heron right now that I really like, but I think for just handmade saddles that I'd personally have my saddles made. I think C.W. Roberts is a very good guy. He's out of Texas. I see lots of guys riding his saddles. They're super nice. And
What was the saddle you got from Glenn recently that you like? What's that brand?
I forget. Oh, I think that's a double D, I think saddle. It's pretty nice too. And then I actually have an Oliver saddle right now I'm riding right now too, and I really like it. It's a lot wider in the front end. It fits them kind of rounder back, mutton backed horses pretty good. So yeah, I really like that saddle too. So there's a few of them.
Yeah, and then one of my favorite saddles I have right now, growing up, we bought a lot of Corriente saddles, kind of just because they're cost effective and they do the job, but they're not my favorite necessarily. My favorite saddle that I have, we got from Buster, is an SRS saddle from Texas, but they're pretty hard to find, and I'm seeing that uh, they're not super available. So we're kind of lucky to get a saddle like that. What's your favorite saddle pad?
Mm, I really like right now I'm really kind of fond of the CSI fleece liner. I really like the fleece liner. It doesn't seem like it gets near as hard as the felt one. The felt one, if I think when you're riding a log, it gets kind of hard as a rock. You kind of got to really wash it out and stuff. But I really like the fleece one. And I like the saddle right pads too. They're pretty nice too. They're real nice.
So thank you everyone for blocking Josh. That was appreciated. We're scrolling back through to see if there's any questions we missed. Okay, so do we both compete in rodeos? Or what's your favorite thing to compete in? And then I'll go next.
I don't know. I guess just team roping if we're seasoning a horse, or a lot of times I guess we get rid of a lot of our good made horses. So, but yeah, just team roping.
Yeah, Cisco loves team roping. I grew up doing a lot of barrel racing, and I still love barrel racing. I just haven't done that a lot recently, but stay tuned. We are going to start jackpotting again soon. And breakaway's getting pretty big. But in general, me and Cisco, we do always have young horses. So a lot of times when we're there, we're not even there for ourselves. We're there to season a horse or to get them exposure or to make a few runs so they can have a few runs under their belt. And being able to take your horse from home to haul to a new arena with new sights or banners or things like that is really good for them. And so we do a lot of that. Sometimes Rancho Rio is one of the big places here that has jackpots, and there's a lot of times we go and we don't even rope. We just go and ride our horses around. So you'll see us at a lot of jackpots. We're not always competing. I think that's something both of us, or maybe at least I, want to start doing in the future, is jackpotting for ourselves more. But both of us, we kind of always think of the horses first. So let's scroll down and see if there's other questions. Okay. Have you ever worked with like thoroughbreds or Arabians or any other type besides quarter horses?
At one horse trainer, there was some thoroughbred horses and there's actually an Arabian horse too. I didn't really get to ride. I think I might have rode the thoroughbred a little bit, but the Arabian I did not ride. But yeah.
Yeah. Actually, one of the first horses I got to train for the public was an Arabian horse. And some of these comments right now, they're saying they're very sensitive, and I will agree to that 100%. I think one of the reasons why quarter horses are so user-friendly is because you can poke on them, you can do certain things, and they just put up with it. They're okay with it, and they kind of tolerate people. But thoroughbreds and like Arabians, you poke on them or you touch them, they're going to move or like jump sideways, or they're just more sensitive, which is a good thing. And they're probably like that because they have to run fast and do other things. But there's a reason why quarter horses are the most user-friendly horses. So I would agree with that. I didn't hate the thoroughbreds and Arabians that I got to ride, but they weren't my favorite because you can't ever like take a deep breath and just relax. And to me, you can do that with quarter horses. You can take them out and just relax. Thank you so much, Marie. She doesn't have a question, but she thinks we're super nice.
Awesome. Thank you.
Lisa wants to know, do we train people too?
I think I guess I shouldn't train. Maybe that's not the right words, but yeah, we try to help people out. They a lot of times people, they're just not maybe steered the wrong direction. With their horse and stuff. Their horse might be doing something, and they don't realize why he's doing that. But in the end, that horse is doing that because of that individual's kind of letting him do that. When you're on the horse, you're controlling the steering wheel. You got the brake, you got the gas pedal, and you know what I mean? So you're in control. So if you don't quite fully understand horses, you might come up with some problems. But yeah, we try to help people out along the way, and we might help them fix their horse and then tell them why he's doing it and whatnot and how to prevent him from doing it. And yeah, so absolutely we help people out or train people.
Yeah. I've actually, this last summer, I did get to do a lot more lessons with people, and I really enjoy that. Like Cisco said, sometimes horses are only doing what they're running that way or they're stopping that way because the owner is asking them to, even though the owner might not realize they are. But I had more fun training people or giving lessons with people, because then I can be like, hey, you're kind of asking the horse to do that. And kind of a Clinton Anderson quote is, it's not horses that have problems, it's people that have problems. And I would agree to that. I don't know if you would, but it's not the horses that have problems, it's people that don't really know how to train the horses. And that's no offense to anyone, that's just how it is. Like Cisco said earlier, he's ruined 100 horses, I've ruined 200 horses. I can think of so many horses that I ruined or I would do something a certain way and then we had a bad result and it was my fault because I wasn't doing a good enough job. It's not the horses. They're trying their best and they're just animals, and we just have to learn how to kind of work on their same level and do that. I saw another good comment. Oh, what is your favorite horse movie? No, what's your favorite movies in general? Cisco has a good answer for this.
I don't know. I don't really know if I have. I guess I like a lot of a lot. I watch a lot of older movies, you might say. One of my friends calls them old dusties, but yeah, dang sure we watch some black and whites and videos or movies.
Cisco watches black and whites.
But yeah, we. I guess I don't know if I have a favorite horse whisperer movie or anything like that. I guess I don't think I really do. But anyhow.
We spent this summer watching a lot of just training videos, kind of from anyone.
Hmm.
Clinton Anderson, Miles Baker, Dusty Whitford. Like, there's a lot of trainers. We like to watch other people train. I think kind of both of us, Cisco, could agree too. We like, you can never learn too much. There's always a new way to learn it, and there's always multiple ways to skin a cat. So even if you think you know one way, you could probably learn that same way in a different approach to it or something like that. Growing up, me and my sisters watched Heartland on repeat, and that was kind of fun to watch. I know sometimes it's not always realistic, but it's fun to watch a horse movie like that kind of show the highlights of horse training and stuff. So that was one of my favorite horse movies that we got to watch. Okay, so one of the Darlene said, one of my old vets told me that grain is pure poison to horses unless they're working hard. Grain is not good for horse.
Yeah.
What do you have to say about that?
I agree. Yeah, I dang sure fed my horses grain, but I was maybe I only had maybe 4 or 5 horses, and they were getting rode, 8, 10 hours a day, and they were getting rode pretty hard. We were putting some miles on them, and I'd give them some grain, but 8, 10 hours a day, you're putting some miles on them horses, that's dang sure riding. That ain't no 2 hours of just loping around in the arena, you're using them, and I would grain them then, but I don't grain them now. These horses now, especially our rope horses, they don't get used hard enough. It causes us more problems in the end, so no grain.
I think feed is a very big factor that sometimes people don't consider with their horses. It's just like ourselves. If we're eating a bunch of sugar or crappy food, we're not going to feel good. Or, like, you give a kid a bunch of sugar, they're going to have like a spurt of energy and then they're going to die off. And that's the same with horses. Feeding them good quality feed and being consistent with it will go a very long ways. And so I think that's a big factor, like, are they getting their fruits and veggies? You got to make sure they're getting what they need. And the only time I've ever been consistent about graining a horse is when I went to college and I was college rodeoing on Shorty, and I had another horse named Flynn at the time. They got grain when I was going to the rodeos that weekend because it was like 2-day rodeos and we were hauling a bunch. But other than that, I think my dad, he still grains the colts when we first get them, kind of because they're coming off their mamas and they might need some extra protein or nutrition. But I would definitely agree with that comment. I love that, Darlene. Grain is pure poison unless you're using it for the right reasons. I'm not saying there's not certain horses that might need it, but most horses just need the basic fruits and veggies. They don't need all the extra sugar and candy. And I would agree. We would love to have a Rawhide 66 saddle someday. We'll have to. Someone said I should have bargained with that for penny. So, Farm on Route 66, if you're still watching, might have bargained with you later to get a saddle out of you. Okay, so we mentioned in one of our for sale videos that one of our horses was Cowie. What do you mean? What do we mean by a Cowie horse?
So I think when we say cowie, if there's like a cow or the roping dummy there, that his ears are back and he's really paying attention to it. And I wouldn't say necessarily aggressive behavior because I don't think it's really aggressive, but he's just kind of like, I'm going to get you type of deal. And he's really got his ears back, and sometimes they'll kind of just stick their nose out, maybe just kind of nip at him a little bit, and they're just constantly really watching it. You know what I mean? And that's what, like cutting and stuff. You'll see them horses, they got their ears back and they're just really watching the cow. That's kind of cowy, and they really just want to go to it type of deal, and that's what we say when that horse has got a lot of cow to him, and they're really fun to ride, and when you're roping off them, it's real fun, because they want to go to it, type of deal. So yeah.
And it's come to breeding too. Like, horses are bred for it now, just like how hound dogs are bred to have good noses and go sniff out mountain lions or bears or things like that. Or border collies are bred to herd sheep or cows or things like that. There's definitely horses bred to work cows. And I just saw a cool video on Facebook the other day of a horse with no rider, nothing at all, cutting a cow all by himself. And it's like, that's pretty cool. You know, to me, it gives me goosebumps because it's like the breeding has really gone a long ways to make a horse love his job. And that's what we like. We like horses that are cowy because cowy means they naturally love their job. We don't want to take a horse that hates cows and force them to rope or cut cows or things like that.
Trying to watch display jackpotting.
Oh, yeah. So jackpotting, in general, jackpotting, I guess in a way it can be compared to gambling in like Vegas and stuff. Not that it's the same. You definitely have to have like some talent and stuff. But when you jackpot, everyone goes to a rodeo or a team roping or a barrel race or even a cutting. They have jackpots for different things, but everyone goes and you pay your entry fee. So for a team roping jackpot, for example, you'll pay like $150 to $100 or even $200 to enter a jackpot. So you enter it, you get 3 runs, you might pick a partner, you might draw partners, and you get to run. And then like a team roping jackpot, usually you get 3 head of steers. So you get to rope those steers. And then whoever has the fastest time at the end wins the jackpot. And they'll maybe pay 5 places or whatever. So the top 5 teams that came back will win that. At a barrel jackpot, you pay your entry fees, and the top 5 runners get paid money. There's certain Ds. I guess there's like a lot that goes into it. It might have to be a whole video that kind of explains the different jackpotting. I say it's gambling because at team roping jackpots, there's so many variables. You have yourself, your horse, the steer, your partner, your partner's horse, the barrier, like all those kind of things. So sometimes it's called the luck of the draw. But sometimes you show up to a team roping jackpot and you just draw really crappy steers, or you don't get very good partners that day and you just don't do very good. And you just have to have a good attitude about it. And for us, we always are like, well, at least our horses did good. That's kind of, I always tell myself that. I'm like, at least my horse did good. That's why I came today, so my horse could do good. But yeah. Okay. Let's see what other. Okay, Stacy Westfall, I was telling Cisco about her the other day. She has this very inspirational video for me that I used to watch over and over when I was a kid, but it's a black horse that she did the reining style, freestyle, a reining pattern, freestyle, no reins, bareback, nothing. And I used to watch that over and over, and I was just amazed at how she could turn her horse around and do all this stuff without any reins. So everyone loves the Cowboys John Wayne black and white movies. Cisco would agree. John Wayne is one of his favorites. And okay, so how do we gentle horses? Like, how do we get our horses so gentle?
Just get them to respect us. You gotta get them to move their feet. And get them to respect you and whatnot. And you have to kind of understand I don't know what the right word would be, philosophy on horses and why they do the things they do. And yeah, and it all just plays into it, getting them gentle and stuff and whatnot. There's not really any bribing them or anything like that. So, but anyhow, that's a pretty big topic and go on forever. But
Cisco in his last go watch, if you want to know kind of more about that, go watch the first ride on Charlie Brown. And Cisco is purposely trying to scare that horse. Like, the whole purpose of a lot of the groundwork is to see if he can scare him, because if he can scare him, that shows him, okay, that's something I need to work on so that he's not scared of it anymore. But to get a gentle horse means they're not scared or reactive to anything. And so it's our job to make them not reactive or not scared of anything anymore. So how did me and Cisco meet? So we've known each other for probably like 6 years now. We've only been dating for 2 years, but Cisco was working on a ranch in Flagstaff. And me and my dad's had an arena for, some years now, and we would invite people over to come rope with us. And I always liked having people come over and rope because I had a lot of colts to ride. And the guy that Cisco worked for, my dad would invite him over, and then Cisco kind of started tagging along and roping with us. And Cisco was always very quiet. You guys noticed that. But he started coming over and roping. And then it's called the Arizona Cowpunchers Reunion Rodeo. And there's an event in that called ribbon roping, and I wanted to do it. And so my dad asked Cisco if he'd be my partner. So we started just kind of being roping partners together and stuff like that. And I was still off at school, but when I came back from school, me and Cisco started talking more, and I guess we just kind of realized too we wanted the same things out of life. So that's how we kind of met and started dating.
What a love story.
We got married from the UK.
Oh, all right.
That's awesome. Thanks for time coming in. And then Teresa lives in a state where the climate gets very cold. Okay, so how would you supplement? Would you do anything different in the winter for a horse? If we lived somewhere where it's really cold, what do you think would be the thing to do?
I guess I don't know if I really would. I guess we haven't been in extreme cold, places, but I dang sure just make sure they had plenty of feed. I think that their feed and hay and stuff's what keep them warm. So dang sure make sure you have plenty of food. I try not to blanket them unless you're going to a show or selling them or something. I just kind of because they're going to grow their own hair and how much they need and stuff. So, but dang sure make sure they have plenty of food. That's what's going to really keep them warm. And water, of course, too. But yeah.
I'd agree with Cisco. I think in the cold, the best way to keep a horse warm is to keep them fed good. Make sure they have plenty. They can make their own kind of fat. And I do agree with not blanketing. Just if you need it for certain reasons, that's totally understandable. But sometimes when you blanket a horse, you're just messing with their natural coat and their natural cycle. And horses are just a lot tougher than we think. And they're naturally wild animals. They know how to take care of themselves. So sometimes people kind of get involved, and we kind of can mess things up a little bit. So I think we're going to stay on for at least 4 more minutes, and then we might need to start getting to chores. So if there's any more questions, make sure to leave those. We're going to try to get to some more. Teresa, I love Fallon Taylor. She's my idol. But then everyone else too, I've seen a lot of comments of Rick Gore. Do you know who that is?
I haven't watched Rick or heard of him.
Me either, so we'll definitely have to look him up. But I've seen a few comments that Rick Gore rocks, so I'm going to have to check out his channel. Mm-hmm. We definitely like to learn from other people. We like to put our own spin on things, but you can always learn from other people. And we've got Will from Western Australia. That's awesome. So cool to see people from different places and coming from everywhere else. And Laura's from New Hampshire, so about 60 miles from the Canadian border. So it's probably really cold up there.
It is chilly.
Well, what's the coldest place you've traveled to?
I don't know. I guess we've been to Colorado, been to Montana and Wyoming. Pretty dang cold there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Never spent long periods of time there, but yeah, it was chilly.
The most extreme weather I can remember in my recent past was going to Nebraska at the spring sale.
Oh, yeah.
The wind was blowing 90 miles an hour, and that was crazy. Okay, so Rick Gore's channel is called Think Like a Horse. So we'll have to check that out.
Yeah, check it out.
Let's see what it's about. Let's see if there's any other questions. We're going to try to stay on for a few more minutes. What are our common interests? Horses. Yeah, we definitely.
I guess that'd be the big one. But...
And food.
Yeah. Like to eat.
Yeah. I think we both like to ride horses and we both like to cook. So that's a big thing. Kind of for me too, it was when your horses take up a lot of your time. When you want to own horses, you got to do that all day, every day. And for me, it was finding someone else that wanted to do that all day, every day. So that was a big thing. But let's see if there's, scroll through and see if there's any other questions to see if we need to answer them. And we'll definitely check out. Thank you all for joining this so much. We really appreciate it. Oh, we've got someone, Judith from Kingman, Arizona. So that's awesome. It's cool to have people in our same state as well. Let's see if there's any more questions. We usually start feeding the horses pretty soon and cleaning pens. Recently, we've just been feeding teff hay. Maybe you could kind of talk about what we like to feed or why we like to
Mhm.
feed Tefe.
I don't know. I think we just really like Tefe. Them horses, they don't just gobble it all up. They just like grazing outside. They just slowly eat it and stuff, and they don't get hot on it, but they stay plenty fat, really fat. And I really like it. It seems to fit our program pretty good. But I've also heard people say they don't like it, but we seem to get along with it pretty good so far.
And do we watch Yellowstone?
I've seen it a few episodes and stuff. So yeah.
Yeah. Mostly because everyone told us we
Mhm.
had to. I don't think it was until like season 5 was out, but we did. Everyone was telling us to. So
Mhm.
we started watching some of that. If there's any other good horse related shows, leave that in the comments so we can check those out. I'm just seeing if there's any questions that we missed. And let's see if we missed anything before we head off and get off. Who is someone that you, besides like Clinton Anderson, who's someone on social media that you like to watch a lot?
We watch quite a bit of Miles Baker rope horsing and stuff, and he's a very good colt starter too. So he's kind of into both things there, So he's a pretty good one to watch.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And social media is awesome just because it's really, it lets you learn a lot of things, like just by holding your phone. You can watch videos of people. You still have to get out there and do it yourselves, but
Mm-hmm.
it definitely has helped us learn a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm having fun doing these videos because then we get to a video ourselves. I don't know, like if you feel the same way, but watching a video of yourself doing it shows you all the mistakes you've made. So
Absolutely.
we get to learn more than anyone else probably. But okay, well, thank you guys so much. We really appreciate this. We'll definitely be going live soon. We're going to go ahead and log off. Thanks for coming along. We got Milo back here. I hope you guys got to know us a little bit better. We're going to go ahead and get to our chores. But thank you so much.
Yeah. Have a good night.
Yeah. Have a good rest of your day.